Yes, sir. Welcome to the Texas Sports Unfiltered Postgame Show. I am Zay Collier, joined by the great R Rodney Rodriguez. Hey, man, that's what exactly that I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm just turned up and hyped. The Horns get that dub at Kenfield, 119th meeting, 17-7, grimy, dirty, just gutter, old school football dub. Texas Longhorns gets the win to go to the SEC championship game and play the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh, it's so sweet. It is so sweet. R and I have got you covered for the next hour or so. And yeah, Longhorn fans, hit up the Clean Calls text line. Y'all should be hyped tonight. Not too many people probably sleeping right now, man. Longhorn fans, turn up. You deserve it. If you're in College Station, be careful. Be careful if you're in College Station. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's time to turn up, but I just want to make sure every Longhorns fan is back alive, safe and sound, because you know them Aggies, they could get a little ignorant. You saw them signs today. You know what I'm saying? We saw some ignorant signs today at College Game Day. Mookie Tab came in with a handkerchief supporting Jake Ellinger. That's what we need. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? We need that. We need that type of dub. It got a little ugly in that third quarter, but hey, a win is a win. You knocked out A&M's chances of getting to the SEC championship, knocked out their chances of winning a national championship, and all of your goals are still in front of you for a chance to get some payback on them Georgia Bulldogs, who are a little worn down, if you ask me, with that 8 overtime win against Georgia Tech. But yeah, R, couldn't ask for a better turnout. I know it was ugly at one point, but at the end of the day, in a rivalry game like this, a game that we haven't seen in so long, to come into Kenfield and whoop that ass, Contravian Wisner, are you serious, man?
Unbelievable.
33 carries, 186 yards. What a game. What a game by Contravian Wisner, man. The 3-star, originally out of Waco, Texas. He moves to DeSoto, wins a state championship with them. He's basically jack of all trades at that DeSoto state championship team. Wide receiver, they had him in the backfield. They had him doing everything except selling Gatorade and popcorn. And the man came and delivered tonight when we were having a ton of running back questions after the CJ Baxter situation. Hey, man, sometimes you got to get to that old school football. They did that and then some. Hell of a victory for the Texas Longhorns.
Oh, man. And I want to say, Zay, first and foremost, it is so damn good to have this game back. It was just, I mean, the week of, I mean, game week, you know, you're building up for this. And I mean, it kind of felt right again. It felt right again. And to win, to walk this thing off, to go in there, to punch that ticket to the SEC championship, to take on Georgia again, and to go in there and beat your rival that you haven't seen since 2011. And I've had a lot of Aggie friends have been texting me and messaging me different things when, like you said, it got ugly in the second half. It really did. But we can talk about the box score a little bit later on as we start talking about players of the game and all the different things that we'll do here on the Texas Sports Unfiltered postgame show as Texas wins 17-7. Bottom line is Texas control this game. When A&M had their opportunities and started making moves, I had folks that were blowing me up, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, Texas is letting you back in this game. The Longhorns are letting you back in. I mean, with interceptions and fumbles and block punts and all that. Texas had this game in hand from the get-go. I know it got a little spicy at the end, but that's what these rivalry games do. That's exactly what these games do. But the fact that you go in, I mean, you're talking there about Contravian Wisner. I mean, dude, for me, Zay, we've been waiting all year for – it was like the running game needs to come alive. We kind of saw a little bit of it in the Kentucky game. And then boom, dude, that is worth the wait. What a better stage for the running game to do what it did tonight. Unbelievable. By the way, Texas, you're going to the SEC championship.
Hell yeah. SEC championship, first year in. I see some of y'all saying the comments are, the SEC chants, a little out of date or Texas is above that. No, not really. It's the first year. All we heard was, oh, Texas ain't ready. SEC is going to just get the best of Texas. I don't give a damn about the schedule.
Yeah.
Screw the schedule. Everybody with that schedule narrative, Texas played a weak schedule, this, that, and the third, shut the hell up. Ohio State just lost to the same team that Texas beat in Ann Arbor. I ain't trying to hear that shit no more. Miss me with that shit.
Yeah.
Miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Tennessee. Whoa, they play teams. Oh, they lost to Arkansas. Oh, Alabama, they play teams. Blah, blah, blah. They lost to Oklahoma, which Texas drove by a 30 ball. They lost to Vanderbilt, which Texas went into Nashville and beat that ass too. What are we talking about here? Ole Miss, Texas beat Kentucky and Florida. Miss me with that shit. They deserve to be here. They're the best defense in the nation. 0 points this defense gave up. 0 points. All them fourth down stops, double R. Ethan motherfucking Burke. I'm cussing my ass off tonight. I'm going off tonight. Why not? Ethan Burke. I've never been so proud of a Westlake guy. Them Westlake boys, Mookie Tab, Ethan Burke, showed out. They showed out. Once again, Vernon Broughton was terrific. Big Ocho, Trey Moore was incredible. Defense
Baron
won that game.
Baron Sorrell
early on jumped off sides. I said, uh-oh. Early on that first drive, Baron Sorrell jumped off sides. Uh-oh. What'd he do? Came up with a huge fourth down stop on that same drive. Yeah, I'm talking my shit tonight. Hell yeah. All that shit the Aggies were talking all week. Yeah, they deserve this. Absolutely. The Texas Longhorns deserve this. And look, when you can win ugly still in this type of game, because it would have went south, man. It could have easily went south. Off that pick six, Quinn Ewers, you're thinking, here we go again. This is the same A&M team that came back down 21 against Auburn last week. But like I said earlier this past week, thank Auburn for that 4 overtime dub that they had. Them A&M players, man, they were dropping like flies. And they were kind of slowing down Texas momentum, but in a way, they were helping guys, especially Contravion Wisner, get that energy back. Every time an A&M player went down, Contravion Wisner, all right, I get an extra, couple of deep breaths. Send me back out there, coach. I told y'all last week on the postgame show, this might be a 30-carry game for Contravion Wisner. How many you get, Double R? 33 in them things. Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, 33 carries in 2024. That's unheard of. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, all them guys don't exist no more. It's always running back by committee. Sark said, screw that. Let's just do it. 33 carries. He's built for it. The dude came through. And look, if I'm Mike Elko, I thought it was a bad decision to leave Marcel Reed out there. He wasn't built for this game. Not tonight. No. He's a freshman. Maybe next year. And maybe that was one of those. Yeah, maybe that was one of those, I got to keep him in because I don't want to hurt his, pride or ego or anything, especially if I want him to stay next year. But I would have threw Connor Wegman in that game. I thought he was going to come in the second half. I thought that was a big mistake. Pete Kwiatkowski, immaculate preparation for Marcel Reed. They were flying all over the place. Colin Simmons almost snapped at the end. I was like, easy there, big fella. Easy. We need you for next week. I get it. You pissed off. I get it. Trying to knock you in your head. Act crazy. Don't stoop down to that level. Do not stoop down to that level. They didn't. They handled their business tonight. Quinn Ewers was good enough. He was good enough. The third quarter, the fumble, the interception. Obviously, you don't like that. Block punt. You don't like those things, but it's not always going to be pretty. But when Quinn Ewers on one of those first drives and he scrambled for 20-something yards, when all we heard all week, how's his ankle? How durable is he going to be? Will he be able to move around in that pocket? He was good enough. He was good enough. I'll take that from Quinn. You got to protect the ball now, That's unacceptable. If you go run like that, I know you ain't used to it. You got to hold that thing tight. But hell, Jaden Blue has fumbling problems. So what do I expect from my quarterback? But at the end of the day, the pass to Jaden Blue in the back of the end zone, that was absolutely money. Their ability to drive and get into that back end of the secondary for A&M to just keep drives alive. It could have been 30-7, to be honest. Yep. It could have been 30-0. Texas left points on the board with bad decision-making in those turnovers. So to win like this, man, couldn't be more proud of this squad. That was a hell of a victory. And, you're going to the SEC championship in year one. Like, that's something 4 years ago when it was announced that the Horns would be joining the SEC, and I definitely didn't think was going to happen first year in. And now that they're there, Longhorn fans, cherish it, embrace it. We told you earlier in the season, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride, man. I know Burnt Auburn got some scary shit right there. Old sober Carrot Top, I've been saying it for weeks now. Scholarship Burt, walk-on Burt ain't the same Burt. It's just not. I don't know what's wrong with him, but there's going to be more times and chances for him to make some big-time kicks, and I'm not feeling good about him right now. But hopefully you're not in those situations. So Longhorn fans, bitch from a yacht, but at the end of the day, hell of a win, 17-7. Appreciate all the sponsors for allowing us to do what we do. Covert Bee Cave, 34 Wine and Spirits, audiovisual consultations, the Coda text line. We got YouTube, Clean Calls, Verdes, Mexican Parrilla, Kenfield Golf Cars, Top Gun Rentals and Law Equipment, Hat Creek Burger, Moonshine Patio, Bar and Grill, and Paul's Motorworks. Double R, what else did you like from this game, man? Because this game, in a way, was a roller coaster, but this team showed some serious toughness.
I want to touch on something that you were talking about right there with the whole with the SEC championship and the SEC chants and everything. I talked about this on Chaos Theory earlier in the week where I saw some folks where they're saying I don't know if it's because Texas has been at the top of the SEC or what the deal is, because I've started to hear that ringing about, well, the SEC is down this year, and maybe the SEC isn't going to have X amount of teams in the college football playoff. Bullshit. It is the complete opposite, my man. Here's what the fucking deal is with the SEC, is that the SEC is loaded from the top to the bottom. The teams that ain't worth a shit, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Florida, you pick the team. There is not a bad team. I've said this for the longest time. If you get a kid that is playing in the SEC, I don't give a shit if it's at Texas. I don't care if it's at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, at Texas A&M, wherever. If it's a kid that's playing in the SEC, they're playing in the top college football division in the nation. And that's what happened this year, is that this league is so loaded that people were beating everybody on any given Friday, Thursday, Saturday. You insert the day. That's what happened here, is that the power of the SEC. Yeah, all along it's been Georgia and Texas and Georgia. We knew that they were going to be. It was obvious they were the best two teams in the SEC, but anybody can beat them. Anybody can beat them, and that's the beauty of this. Where this year has gotten so screwed up to where. And now with the 12-team playoff, it's only going to get more complicated. But here's the thing with this game. I got to tell you, this defense. Zay, what can you say about this defense, man? It's one of those things to where when we talk about when Ewers gets a little, and Quinn Ewers, my man, number 3 right there with all the commercials and all the different things that he's doing, man, he's hot or cold. It's like either you get prime rib or spam when it comes to that. Jay, it is, because when that dude is on, it's like going to the Vince Young Steakhouse and you order prime rib or whatever, and then 2 minutes later you're pulling him out of a can. He's a can of spam, and it's like that's worrisome. That's worrisome. But the thing is, you win. But I mean, this defense tonight, and I got to tell you, the creativeness of Steve Sarkisian and this offensive staff to pop Arch Manning in there. I mean, you start dropping that dude in there. He has the touchdown. He makes the touchdown when he comes in. And then the next time he comes in, Zay, you see old Mike Elko over there. He's like,
make him burn a timeout.
Burning timeouts. And this was a great game plan. And I think that Sark did a really good job of this in the first half to get Quinn Ewers calm down. You know, let him. He came out. He kind of looked slow again. And you were talking about when he ran, dude. When he had that run, I'm like, I'm sitting here timing him. I'm like, all right, is it Sunday yet? I mean, that dude's like, doom, 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 doom. But hey, he's running the ball. Fantastic game plan. His defense is amazing. The running game comes alive. My man Gunnar Helm. Seriously, dude, that guy. It's like you start thinking about all these other things, and then there's Gunnar Helm going to come kick you right in the balls. This team, this is a great football team, dude. And by the way, did we mention they're going to the SEC championship in their first?
Yeah. We gonna keep mentioning that. We gonna keep mentioning that because them SEC chants very relevant right now. And I'm with you on Sark's game plan. Him bringing in Arch. It's 4th and 2. Going for it at that time. Look, you're on the road. A lot of the time, I take the points, but Sark was so confident putting Arch in. You would think Arch would be in this game just because of where Quinn Ewers was at and what we thought he was going to be at, but we haven't seen that all year, to put Arch in certain situations, those short yard situations where you need to get a first down, and he utilizes his legs, which we know Arch Manning, very athletic young man, so to do that in this game, to wait that long, now Kirby Smart is going to have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And again, that Georgia team, I know they've had an extra day, but they're beat up a little bit. Yes, CB, we have Magic City, baby. ATX, Texas fans, hey, get your tickets now. Get your tickets now to the ATL. We in Lemon Pepper Wings all week. Strip club popping. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. That Jermaine Dupri and Ludacris going to be bumping. Hell yeah. We going to walk in that trap and try to take over that trap too. Like, that's what it's all about. But on a serious note, Quinn Ewers hit the deep ball to Matthew Golden. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Quinn Ewers was moving around in that pocket. The pass that he had to Gunnar Helm, which went through Anderson's hands, basically, that was money. That was just this close to being a pick and maybe changing the game. He had that play where he was almost across the line of scrimmage, and he made the A&M player come up, and he hit Gunnar Helm, and Gunnar Helm leaped the motherfucker. Like, it was just poetry in motion, and then you have those two mistakes that a lot of people are going to look at. But take those plays out, and Quinn Ewers was back to what we saw at Tuscaloosa, back to what we saw in Ann Arbor. Like, he loves playing on the road, and Kurt Herbstreit made a good point. Like, man, look how calm he is. Quinn Ewers smiling, had his hands on his hips, even with those turnovers. And when you have a defense like this Texas defense, you can look like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can feel like that. Like Andrew Makuba, that whack-ass targeting call that they tried to throw at him, and they realized, nah. In this type of game, we can't call that weak shit. We can't call that. Let him hit. Them boys were sending messages all game on the defensive side. All game long. Trey Moore forcing the fumble. Big Ocho. Remember 2 months ago when we were talking about where's Aid at? Where's this? We don't see it. The ACC Player of the Year, where? I don't understand it. How much is he getting paid now? The San Antonio native ain't doing a damn thing for Texas. He shut us all up. And sometimes it takes guys a little bit when they come in as a transfer to completely understand what the coaches need from him. Even the best players. It's not just going to be a quick, switch. For some guys it is. But Trey Moore obviously needed time to get acclimated to Pete Kwiatkowski's defense, and he has, and then some. That was a huge play.
At the perfect time, Zay. And I think a lot of that with Trey Moore, I mean, because that's my dude. I mean, that's our dude. I mean, you and I, man, we're in sync on a lot of things. Trey Moore is just another one, to where it's like, you got to. I don't think people think about this part of Trey Moore, what you were just talking about. I mean, that dude was UTSA football. I mean, they had a really good. And they beat they lost to Army today. That's been a really good program over there. But he's been the staple of that defense. Moving over here, I don't want to say you're just a guy, but you're one of the guys because there are so many. And I think a lot of this was like what you're talking about with Trey Moore. It had to be how he was going to figure out, and the coaching staff, Pete Kukowski's going to figure out how to work him into what particular rotation, because that defense is so loaded that there are multiple rotations that you can use on the edge. And the fact is that I mean, I want him coming on right now. I mean, I didn't want him firing out of the box and having these games and then cooling off. And then we're like, where'd he go? I mean, you're getting this dude fired up at the most important time. And it is unbelievable what this dude is doing. And this defense again, I was sitting there watching the game with my wife. And when the offense is sputtering around, I told her, I said, the last three games, the offense has come out. They're kind of stumbling around. Quinn looks unsure. You know, he looks uncomfortable. The defense makes a play. And turns the game. What the fuck happened? Mookie Taft with the interception, 93 yards down the field. Touchdown, Texas.
Yeah, when Mookie Taft came in with the Jake Ellinger handkerchief, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That ignorant A&M fan. I don't know who that is. Somebody find him.
Yep.
I'm blaming him too. I'm blaming him too because he didn't have to do what he did. He thought he was trying to be funny. No, you're a piece of shit, bro. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And they got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. Point blank, period. Like, I get it. It's a rivalry, but there's a certain place where you draw a line, and homeboy completely crossed it. Whoever it was, it could have been a woman, and, could have been who knows what the hell it could have been. But either way, that person's a piece of shit. Mookie Taft saw it, and any more bulletin board material? Appreciate it. Good looking out. Appreciate that. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mookie Taft came to play. Ethan Burke on that fourth down stop. Come on, man. Texas Sports Unfiltered's very own. You can hear Ethan Burke every week on Bucky and BK. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to hear what he says this week because that play, that fourth down stop, legend. You're a legend for that. And look, let's get back to number 26, Contravion Wisner. This dude wasn't even supposed to be playing this year, really. He was going to be one of those Keelan Robinson. We put him in different spots, but you're going to rely on Jaden Blue and CJ Baxter. Jaden Blue, fumbling problem. CJ Baxter, injury. So now you call on the guy that's supposed to be RB3, and he's coming in the biggest game of the year and giving you 33 carries for $186. That's stupid, Double R. I don't think people realize how nuts that is. That is nuts. And I said last week it might have to be a 30-carry game for Contravion Wisner. Somebody on Chip and Zay was like, damn, 30, Zay? I feel like it was my homie Rex. Shout out to Rex, baby. Love you, dog. 30, Zay? That's a lot. I said, yeah, that's a lot, but homeboy's got a nose ring. He out here acting like he Pac. He out here acting like he Tupac, Rodney, with the swag. Give him the 30 carries. He's built for it. Some guys are just built for it. Some guys just want that smoke. And Trevor Gooseby coming in for Kelvin Banks. Probably the first tackle taken in the draft. The best tackle in all of college football gets hurt in the first quarter. That's panic mode for a lot of teams. They brought in redshirt freshman Trevor Gooseby. Trevor Gooseby was terrific. If I'm Steve Sarkisian, I ain't playing Kelvin Banks next week. I'm going to let that thing heal. Because SEC championship, that's cool, but you're already in the college football playoff. Yes, you want to win it, but you lose in the SEC championship game, you can still win a national championship. So that's the biggest goal. Yeah, we want the SEC championship, but Kelvin Banks needs to get back right. But, Trevor Gooseby did his thing. He did his thing. Shout out to Hayden Connor. Shout out to Jake Majors. Shout out to DJ Campbell. Shout out to Cam Williams. all those dudes ball tonight. All those dudes ball tonight against a very good Texas A&M front four that was exhausted. Them boys were exhausted. Squirtin, the Shamir brothers, them boys were flat out tired. And again, when you play the type of game that they played last week, so much emotion went into that game. Again, Auburn, so much emotion. How can you come back and play this rivalry game and be completely locked in? You know, you're physically and mentally drained. They showed that. A&M showed that, and Texas capitalized on it. You got to do that to teams like that. They were dropping like flies, Double R, which was slowing down the pace. It was slowing down the pace a little bit. I was like, damn, everybody hurt? How y'all all hurt? Really? For real? Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Come on, Michael Elko, looking at Texas a little bit too early. That offense, hey, Colin Klein, we know you, bruh. Pete Kwiatkowski's seen you a lot of times. He's never beaten Pete Kwiatkowski, Colin Klein. Never. Them Kansas State days, couldn't do it. All right, let me go down to A&M. Maybe I'll have a better shot with better players. Wrong. Wrong, man. Mm-hmm. Also, Reed, they made that dude look like he didn't even want to be out there. When I thought he got hurt before the second half started and he kind of tripped over his own feet on that fourth down, I was like, oh, this dude, he might be hurt, but he might just be taking himself out the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just because Texas was hitting, man. Anthony Hill talking shit the whole game. The whole game, just a swagger for this defense, man. It's so refreshing. Yeah. It's so refreshing to see because we've seen it struggle at times. Last year, that secondary, you know, best wishes to Jaron Thompson and Keaton Crawford and Jalen Catalan and Terrence Brooks. But this crew here, hey, you had to get better. Those guys, they weren't good enough. Sorry. They weren't. This is Texas. There's a standard here. They weren't good enough. That front seven last year was too good for that secondary in 2023 to be that bad. You had to clean that up. Blake Gideon, Terrence Joseph, hell of a job. Hell of a job. Kenny Baker, hell of a job. I'm always going to give Kenny Baker love when he deserves it because he got a lot of knock when Bo Davis left and he came in. Who the hell's this brother? Western Kentucky, what? Miami, there? Like what? Who is this guy? We don't believe in him. All right. The proof's in the pudding. Verde and Broughton said, "Yo, this guy's taking my game to a whole new level." That's what this guy's done. Alfred Collins has been balling out. Bill Norton had a huge hit on that third down before Ethan Burke came in on that fourth down. It's just clicking on all cylinders, man. And again, it's a beautiful thing to watch. It really is. Like, it's a beautiful thing to watch because you're going to have to win some games grimy and with your defense. And to allow 0 points in this game, I don't care who was back there. Marcel Reed, hell, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. I don't care who was out there in this game to allow only 0 points. The only points you gave up was a pick six. Just an immaculate showing by the Texas Longhorns all around. And, yeah, this is one of the bigger wins in Texas football history, and I hope all Texas fans really enjoy this thing.
This is really when the rivalry comes back and Texas still reigns supreme, Zay. I think that's one of the biggest things right there. And let me tell you something about this offensive line. And I've been very critical of the offensive line. This was a game that I had circled in pen, not in pencil, because I knew the environment was going to be what it was. And how about that, man? I mean, say about how stupid all that shit A&M does. But man, all of that, I mean, that is a very unique environment right there. It's so loud in there. I mean, everything that's going on right there. This is a game that I was really concerned that you were going to have the false starts and all the stupid pre-snap penalties and all that the offensive line had been doing. Who did them? The Aggies were the ones jumping off sides in their own house. And for as much as we have said, Texas is at home jumping off sides, A&M, That's why I keep going back to this. I know it was 17-7. I know it's a 10-point win for Texas. And look, I say it all the time. I don't care if it's 7-6. I don't care if it's 100-3. The bottom line is when you go in there and when you break this game down and you go back and you watch it, Texas absolutely dominated this contest. They afforded A&M a couple of opportunities to get back in here. And here's the other part of it, back to this defense. Every time that the offense, that the Texas offense, if there was a turnover and they gave A&M a short field, man, this defense, the Ethan Burke play that you're talking about, so many different plays, and the Makuba, the targeting thing, again, that was not targeting. I'm yelling at the thing. He's leading with his shoulder. Come on, just the intensity that you were talking about. These guys were out there and they were just laying the wood. I mean, it was at one point where I think A&M was ready to just get off the field. I mean, they were just getting manhandled in their own gyms, Texas came in. I mean, you could see when they came out of the tunnel, when they came running in, all the fanfare, everything that's going on with A&M. Here come these dudes in their icy whites with their nuts just swaying side to side, saying, we're here. We're Texas. Yeah. We're in your conference. We beat you when we were in the other conference. Now we're in your conference.
Yeah.
And we're going to beat your ass in your place again.
Yeah, they've been here 13 years, haven't even tasted an SEC championship opportunity. Texas comes in year one and makes it off their expense. Oh, it's so sweet, Double R. It's so sweet. No wonder they hate us so much. And that's that little brother. You got to put little brother in his place, man. This is why y'all didn't want us in. This is why they didn't want us in to begin with. This is why they left the Big 12. They hated the smoke. They hated it. They run from it.
I got to tell you, Zay, the past couple of days, I mean, I know you have the little brother thing, and I don't like to throw that around. I mean, too much, because I got a lot of A&M friends. Hell, I got a kid that's in the A&M system at Tarleton, which, by the way, they won a playoff game today. They had the South Dakota next week. So I was kind of on the fence today. I didn't want to talk too much shit because, I did need the A&M system to do well. But it's the last few days, it's been like the A&M folks are just everywhere you look, cut the horns off and doing all these different things. I'm like, damn, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
We ain't even played the game yet. I ain't heard Texas talking shit. I mean, Texas is at the top of the SEC. It's not their fault that they're winning all these games. I mean, I guess it is their fault because they're that good. But I'm like, damn, y'all calm down. Just calm down. What's the chip on your shoulder? What's the chip on your shoulder? You know what they get to prepare for now? One of my favorite things, not favorite things, I always hated it when Mac Brown would say, when Texas was in those, 5-loss seasons, and Mac Brown would say, well, hopefully the goal is right now we'll finish out the season and get ready to play in a nice bowl game. A&M, you're going to get to play in a nice bowl game, not a playoff.
Yeah.
A nice
bowl. Yeah, have fun at the Music City Bowl, Independence Bowl. I don't know where the hell they going. And, all them Aggies that are going to be eating ramen because they spent over $1,000 to get in the game today to watch their team lose. That ramen adds a little hot sauce to it, a little spice, because you're going to be eating ramen for a long time. That was a real pricey ticket. You know what I'm saying? And to take that L with the most expensive ticket in college football history, ain't a good business decision. Ain't a good business decision at all. You know what I'm saying? That's on y'all. That's on y'all. Y'all wanted to make this game all important and stuff. Like, okay, we'll make it important, but you might not like it, Aggie fans. They didn't have much fun tonight. There wasn't much to root for. There really wasn't. If Quinn Ewers didn't give him that pick six, what you really rooting for? You got skunked, in my opinion. Yeah. So, hey.
That's what I keep going back to. That's what I keep going back to. Yeah, 17-7. But I mean, that's just because Texas let you in the game. And
yeah, the horns covered. I mean, come on. Hit us up. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us tonight. Hit us up on the Clean Calls text line. Clean Calls is a better-for-you beverage on a mission to support addiction recovery. It is a healthier version of an energy boost because a lot of y'all out here drinking those crazy energy drinks and drinking like 8 things of coffee and stuff. That's not good. Don't do that for your health. Clean Cause is a healthy alternative that will get you right. Sparkling 0 calories, sparkling low calories, non-carbonated yerba mate that is sweetened with organic cane sugar. And best of all, 50% of the net profits go to addiction recovery, and they have already donated over $3 million, and they're just getting started. Clean Calls. Grab one for you and help boost your day and make a difference. Right. Yeah, man. Hey, yo, DJ, man, we're just having a good time. Just having a good time tonight, man. There's a lot to be thankful for. Thanksgiving just passed. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of Texas fans were stressed. You know, there were reports on Quinn Ewers and that ankle not getting right and not getting better. Hey, Quinn Ewers showed me some toughness tonight. Say what you want about Quinn. Quinn made good enough plays to get this dub. That's what it's all about. Like and subscribe. Shady in Sports. Appreciate you, baby, for giving us that 20. That is much love. Texas Sports Unfiltered. We're the best in the business. Hey, we have a good time here. Double R and I, we got y'all. But yeah, Quinn, you were showing me some toughness tonight, man, because I didn't know. I was a little skeptical. Because I thought Sark, if you're going to play him, you might have to dumb down the playbook just because you want to protect his ankle and stuff. Sark said, "Nah, we ain't doing that."
Opened it up. Yeah,
I was seeing stuff that we haven't seen. We got Arch Manning coming in the game for design runs, RPO stuff. Like Sark was in his bag tonight. He was. And then he finally realized after those 2 turnovers by Quinn, you know what? They can't stop us in the run game. Let's just start eating up clock and give it to 26 and have them take over this game. And he did that. If I'm Steve Sarkisian, Quatrevious Weiser, you ain't practicing the whole week. We got to get you right for them Bulldogs, bro, because we owe them one. You owe them one for what they did in your home at DKR, 30-16. That wasn't a good look for nobody. Nobody. And they coming in limping. If Georgia Tech could put up 40-something, I think Steve Sarkisian and this crew could put up some points on this team. I do. Now, it's going to be a home game for Georgia because Athens only about 40-something miles away from the ATL, but that don't matter. This is Texas. We travel well. Maybe for other schools, that'd be a problem, but, hey, for Texas fans, people are making their plans right now. I know Texas fans are looking up hotels, Airbnbs right now to make that road trip. Cause I just went to South Carolina. We drove through Atlanta. It ain't that far of a drive. 10 hours. That thing fly by if you rolling. So yeah. I'm hyped, man. This is a good place for the Hornets to be.
Jay, I'll tell you. I think that's the other part of this. This whole game to me, just from the get-go to me, this was a business trip for Texas. Texas Longhorns were on a business trip today. They had, the goal in mind to win the game, to punch a ticket to the SEC championship game, do it as methodical as possible, as dominating as possible. They did all of that. Talk about the SEC championship coming up next week, being over there. Look at the environment they were just in. I mean, I think that's going to pay huge dividends right there. I mean, because say what you want to say, like we said about the A&M crowd. I mean, they're a little rowdy, and the fact that you went in there and hell, you took them out of the game, and that's why when there were chances for A&M to get back in the game, that's where I kept going back to, oh shit, if you get that crowd going, I mean, because it really is the 12th man. But with the SEC championship, we talked about Georgia came in here and handled business. This goes back to the offensive line, Zay. Much ridiculed after that game because they laid an egg. They shit the bed in that game big time. And they have been, man, I think the offensive line is probably the unit that is going to be more excited about getting to play Georgia again because that left a sour taste in their mouth. We were all talking about, well, forget about that Joe Moore award. Don't even put them in that discussion anymore. And they were still kind of stumbling around a little bit after that. But these last few weeks, Zay, you're talking about right there when Banks goes out, the freshman comes in. I think this offensive line, talking about business trips in the SEC championship next week, the offensive line, I think, is going to go in there and they're going to control the line of scrimmage, man, because I guarantee you they will have plenty of bulletin board material from when Georgia came here and put an ass whooping on them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't remember, let's not forget what Kirby Smart said. I ain't here for all the bells and whistles and all the pictures and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. Kirby, bet. Absolutely. Yep. I plan that all week. I'm playing that throughout the speakers. That speech that Kirby Smart had, I am playing that throughout the whole speakers. Every day. We're all going to hear that. I'm going to make shirts of it if I'm Steve Sarkisian. Let these guys know, hey, this is what Kirby Smart thought of us last time he played. He thinks y'all are soft. He thinks this is sweet around here. And you're right, Double R, that offensive line, they've been challenged. Kyle Flood, hell of a job. When you bring in a 3-star redshirt freshman in the biggest game of the year, when your all-world, all-American, first-round pick, left tackle goes down in a boot, and you're able to rack up 200 and something yards on the ground, you're doing it. 240.
They ran the ball right at him. They put him in the game, and they ran right at him. It was like you would think, coaching tendencies would be, all right, we're putting that dude in. Let's go the other way. They ran it right up his ass. and they dominated the line of scrimmage against that defense, that vaunted defense. I've heard him saying it feels like the wrecking crew again. What wrecking crew? What wrecking crew are you referencing? Because that defense didn't look like Datwin and all that group. Oh man,
yeah. And yo, Drew Brees, I saw you wearing that A&M shirt. I saw you, Drew. Yeah, I love me some Drew Brees. I respect him, but tonight he was the enemy. I always wanted to go to A&M. He was mouthing that off to Johnny Manziel. They didn't want you either. Texas didn't want you. You went on to Purdue. All them Westlake guys on Texas, and you don't support the Longhorns? You're wearing this A&M colored shirt on Kyle Field? All right, you a traitor too, Drew. You a traitor too, Drew. You know what I'm saying? That's why Mookie Taft's the greatest Westlake chaparral of all time, in my opinion. Ethan Burke is the best Westlake chaparral of all time, in my opinion. Miss me with that shit, Drew. I ain't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's just, yeah, we're making shirts. Oh, Kirby, got to make him eat his words, man. Got to make him eat his words, because yo, Kyle Flood, shout out to Jeff Banks, shout out to Chris Jackson, to Shard Choice. Again, to have a third-string running back before the season started, we knew Travion Wisner, third string back. To have him right at this time of the year where you're giving him 33 carries and he's running for $186 to Shard Choice, man. That's incredible. And I'm sure Texas fans saw what Cedric Baxter said in the Players Tribune, about, just where he was and his thought process of getting hurt. Beautiful article and diary that CJ Baxter put out supporting this team and just being there for his guys. But he talked about Tashard Choice and what Tashard Choice meant to him. That's how all these running backs feel. Even the ones before him, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Brooks, they love Tashard Choice because Tashard Choice is going to get you right, and he's going to tell it how it is. He ain't going to sugarcoat a damn thing. But if you listen to him, if you buy in, if you stick with it, you'll get it. It'll click eventually. And it is clicking for Travion Wisner. It's clicking for this offensive line. It allows Quinn Ewers to make those mistakes at times, and you still be good. I don't like if Quinn Ewers plays a clean game, this team could win a national championship. Easy. With this defense, easy. But if Quinn Ewers gives us what he gave us today, which was good for about 85%, but the 15% that he was bad was really bad, then
bam.
That spam, which couple slow your roll on the spam, double R. I know some Hawaiians that can whip some spam up. I like spam too. No, let's not sleep on spam. I'd rather have that prime rib that you're talking about. Please believe me. But that spam, if you got somebody that can really cook that thing and season that thing up, that spam be hitting. But man, Steve Sarkisian has showed us why he deserved that raise and got that $10 million. I know there's been a lot of questions about Sark, coming from me included, because there's been times where I'm like, I don't know about that, Sark. I don't know about that decision. Year 4, he's got his team in the SEC championship game. They're going to be able to play for a national title, while there's a lot of teams in the SEC that have a similar roster that don't get that grace.
That's right.
That won't have that opportunity. So to be here, schedule or not, could care less, you're here. And you got a prime opportunity to do some serious damage in college football. Why not you? Everybody was talking about Ohio State being that best team in the nation. Okay. All right. Sure.
Yeah.
That makes you feel great if you're a Texas fan. Like anyone can be beat. On any given Saturday, anyone could get got. Bring that A game. If you bring it, hey, you should be good. But this team, man, they got a lot of pride. They got a lot of toughness. They ain't scared of nobody. There's been Texas teams where we couldn't have said those things.
No.
They'll throw down when need be. You need a grimy, hard-nosed, old-school type of football game? Cool. We'll bring our hard hats and our lunch boxes ready to go to work. If you want to win pretty, throw for a ton of yards, score some points, cool. This team could do that too. Like this team just playing complimentary football. Once they get going there, tough to beat. And for the most part, they did that tonight. Did that enough against a very scrappy A&M team that's done some good things this year. But all we heard from a lot of people who picked A&M, 12 man, Texas go into this atmosphere. They haven't played nobody. This is the best team they've played. They haven't faced a quarterback like Marcel Reed, blah, 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 blah. Ain't trying to hear that shit. They stopped that. They stopped all of that tonight and then some. Again, Texas fans, enjoy it, party it up. If you want to get a little lit tonight, if you want to sip on a little something, do that. You deserve it. You want to hit the town? Some of you Texas fans, go out on North Gate. Party it up. Live it up. A&M fans always hating about, Texas fans, they don't even go to Texas and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's the point that y'all really want to make. Everybody wants to be Texas because Texas rules. As that homie from Boston said back in the day, Texas is the balls. Like, that's why everybody wants to be us. Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about here? Nobody wants to wear that whack-ass Aggie colors. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants to live in Austin, living it up. Being around the water, being around beautiful honeys in bikinis, doing it big. That's what the ATX is about. That's what Texas is about, winning at the same time. Miss me with that, Aggies, man. Y'all, Aggies, if y'all listening, man, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the Texas Sports Unfiltered Postgame Show with Double R and Zay Collier. Have some fun with us tonight, too.
I had a guy message me tonight, and it was like, oh, man, Matthew McConaughey's buying all the players. It's all about money over there. I'm like, bitch, y'all just paid a guy $75 million to leave. To leave.
Yeah.
There's plenty of money over there. There's plenty of money over there. This
Jimbo.
That's right.
And what up, Jimbo? I know Jimbo was watching tonight. Jimbo probably laid up on the lazy boy, kicking back.
Like this.
Having some scotch, some expensive-ass scotch, too.
He's printing money right now.
Yeah, some expensive-ass scotch. I've been sitting around for years, waiting to crack it open for a right occasion. I hope you enjoy that, Jimbo. You deserve it, bro. You deserve it.
Here's what it comes down to, Zay. It's really cool to look at the Texas program. Yeah, the wins. Yeah, all that. Yeah, SEC championship game. Look how far, because you were talking about Tashard Choice, and we're talking about Kenny Baker, and we're talking about look at this program right now. This is a well-run machine. And that has been what had been missing here for so long. And that's why when all these fans, because now with Michigan slipping and now with Oklahoma not where they're accustomed to being, all these teams that are now bad, it's like, we've been there. But the turnaround right here to what Steve Sarkisian, Chris Del Conte is, so much a part of this. Where this program has come in a very, very short time, the turnaround, because I don't want to say with Tom Herman, you hit rock bottom, but you were pretty damn close right there because just everything with the controversies and the shit for brains things that he did and everything that happened right there. And you bring in Steve Sarkisian. And like you said, there was so much doubt where, Texas, another bad hire. Texas fucked up again. They're bringing in another guy. Look at this program. Look at this program that he's built. And to watch his team, it's a Steve Sarkisian team with this offense that could be so finesse, that can run and do, run the ball, the guys on the outside, all the different things that they can do. A finesse team, and then with a defense that will absolutely come out and destroy you. Man, this turnaround is unbelievable. And like you keep saying, Texas fans relish this. Look, big picture. This year's great. And it's one of those things where, who was it? Bobby Bowden, I think, that would talk about where in a turnaround, it's like a 3-year thing to where you got to figure out how to win, and then you're going to win ugly games, and then you're going to have dominating wins. Well, this year's been ugly and dominating at the same time. But, man, you're on a championship path right here. You're on a championship path, and you're peaking at the best time.
Yeah, winning in different ways is huge. Like, you got to grind out wins sometimes. You got to score a lot of points sometimes. Like, it is what it is. Each game has its own identity. You never know what, playbook, or should I say game plan, some coach might bring out of the ass or something. I'm sure Mike Elko wasn't expecting Arch Manning to come in on 4th and 2 and score a touchdown early in the first drive. Sure, he wasn't thinking that at all, but it happened. It absolutely happened. So, yeah, I thought Steve Sarkisian got the best of Mike Elko tonight. And, yeah, this whole Jim Schlossnagle thing, I know it stings. Dude, I know this loss stings even more. Schloss down here with us, he said, let me get out of this country, ugly-ass town, College Station. The only thing good at College Station is Lane's Chicken. That's it. Y'all going to have to find me something else. I think we might be getting the lanes in the ATX, so we taking everything they got. We get the lanes in the ATX, and there's no reason for me to ever go to College Station ever again. And I'll take that. That's a good life for me. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Schlossnagle situation, they down bad, Double R.
Yeah, they're down really bad.
So bad. They down so bad, and it feels so good. But yeah, Texas Longhorns get the dub 17-7.
Check this out. Gunnar Helm put this tweet out talking to A&M. That was y'all's loud with laughing emojis after the game.
Yeah. That ain't nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. They've been through this before. Our guy Kyle Umlang, man, he was there tweeting, talking about, man, it was louder in Ann Arbor. We had him on the show, Chip and Zay, this past week. It's louder in Ann Arbor than it is here at Kyle Field, which Kyle is very petty. So take what he said with a grain of salt, but I'm riding with it. I'm riding with it. Kyle's very petty. He's got his Aggie hate book out. Check that out. But, it's a good night. It's a good night, man. I don't know if I'm ever going to sleep tonight. This was one of them nights where you might have to go out, do a little something, just to rub it in the Aggies' face, and a lot of upsets. A lot of upsets in college football this week. A lot of rivalries where teams were fighting and stuff, and them didn't have no fight left. I think Texas could have planted that flag on the A&M logo, and I don't think anything would have happened. Because I don't think they wanted that smoke either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they wanted to get their ass whooped after getting their ass whooped. That wouldn't have been a good look for anybody. But Steve Sarkisian keeping it classy. I'm sure he told the folks after watching what happened at multiple stadiums today, especially starting up with Ohio State and Michigan. Hey, guys, if we win, we're going to do it with class. We're going to celebrate with our fans, eyes of Texas.
Business trip.
Get out of here with a win. Business trip. Exactly. Exactly. A business trip.
No dogpiling, no shenanigans, none of that. Just take care of business. And most importantly, get ready for next week, because that's the biggest thing that comes out of this. You get ready for next week. And I'll tell you what, Zay, because with, like you're talking about, with upsets and people beating people that shouldn't be beating people, this whole college football playoff thing, a question, because that's going to be the question now. Taking on Georgia, if Texas were to lose to Georgia again, should Texas get in?
I think that they're in regardless.
They should get in.
Yeah, they're in regardless. Even if they lose to Georgia. They've done enough. The eye test is there to be in this environment, and you saw what Vegas had. The Horns, like, they blew past that. They covered that and then some. So they're in. This defense is too good. When Texas is at their best, they can play with anybody and beat anybody in the country. And I'm glad that A&M has no shot to get in. OU doesn't have a shot to get in. Like, all these rivals that Texas has, they're coming in as the ones that are making some noise in their first year in the SEC. So, again, appreciate everybody for rocking with Double R and I here on the Texas Sports Unfiltered Postgame Show. He's Rodney Rodriguez. I am Zay Collier. The Texas Longhorns get the dub in Kenfield against the A&M Aggies 17-7. Double R, let's get to it. The offensive MVP brought to you by Verdes Mexican Paella. I mean, I felt like this one's too easy, right?
Yeah. And we'll talk about Verdes here in just a second. But, I mean, how do you not go with Contravian Wisner? 33, 194. Dude, unbelievable. It with the biggest spotlight on him of the year, they turn him loose. It's like this is a game when you open this thing up. And I do want, because I wanted to mention a while ago, one thing about this with what Wisner did tonight, because the Jaden Blue factor comes in as well, to where, I mean, how do you handle that? Because that was one of the first things that I heard on the broadcast tonight, where they talked about when Jaden Blue's on the field, it's like, well, he tends to fumble from time to time. The other part of that is going back to game plan and scheme that was put together tonight, where you're shoving Wisner down their throat, and Blue would pop in, from time to time and run the ball, and then the Blue with the touchdown catch. It's like when Blue's in the game, you're thinking, okay, they're going to give him the football. He gets himself open and makes that miraculous catch. But Wisner, unbelievable what he did tonight. And it really is stepping up in a primetime moment, really asserting himself right now as running back number one. I mean, that is your guy the rest of the way. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, however many games are left, you're going to be riding there with number 26, because that's the dude that has found the way to put this running game on his back, literally. When Quinn Ewers is struggling, when Quinn Ewers is half-stepping stuff, give it to 26. And boom, there he goes. Hard to not pick that dude as your offensive MVP of this contest tonight.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace to Cedric Benson. I know he's looking down on Contravian Wisner in that performance, because that's kind of who it reminded me of. I used to give it to 32 like that and just have him completely take over games. And I'm not going to compare it to Ricky. Let's relax there, Ricky. But that type of vibe, just old school, take it to the house football. And I'm right there with you. Like, how can it not be Contravian Wisner? You know what I'm saying? Like, he just has just this positive vibe about him. Like, he wants this, to be a 3-star. And that's development. Like, that's why you got to keep giving this coaching staff love, because they have multiple 3-stars on this team that are thriving. Yeah. Gunnar Helm, Hayden Connor. We just saw Trevor Gooseby out of Melissa, Texas. He's coming in as a 3-star, and Yeah, he looks like he's going to take the reins from Kelvin Banks next year and be just fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, biggest game of his career, and he comes in and puts in that type of performance when Kelvin Banks goes out. And again, Quintrevia Wisner to be a 3-star, not have many looks, once upon a time, being an Oklahoma guy and to rush for 186 yards on the ground. 33 carries is nuts, man. In this day and era, that is absolutely insane. And I just had a feeling last week. That's why I told you, like, this might be a 30-carry game for Quintrevia Wisner against A&M. That's why I told you. That's why I was telling Chip all week. I just had a feeling because that last drive against Kentucky, you go 86 yards, 15 plays, 8 minutes and 22 seconds, and Quintrevia Wisner got the ball 10-plus times.
Yep.
He's built for that. You saw something in that offensive line. You saw something in him. And I don't know if Steve Sarkisian really knew until he actually saw it and felt it in the game that he could trust it. And you're right, Double R. He's your guy for the rest of the year. That might be your guy that leads you to a national championship. And that's okay. Like, I get it. You want to get all these big-time recruits and transfers to play your high-octane, fast-paced offense and make it look pretty with balls thrown down the field. But the defense knows that you like to do that too. So if they're going to take all that stuff away and you have the big fellas, the big humans that Steve Sarkisian refers to, that can get the job done, then do that. I get it. It's not pretty. Sometimes you got to win ugly. Sometimes you got to bring that 5 home, Rodney. Sometimes you can't bring the Dobbs home all the time. You can't bring the fine-ass woman home all the time. Sometimes you got to bring home that 5. And that 5 will rock your world if you do it right. Rock your world, I'm telling you. I know some of y'all brothers out there have been with some of them 5s, you know what I'm saying? Myself included. My wife going to bed, so I can let myself included. Them 5s can rock your world. Take advantage. Take advantage, baby. Steve Sarkisian, take advantage. The Shard choice is too good. Quintrevia Wisner is too good. Kyle Flood. This offensive line, again, we got to name them all. Trevor Gooseby, Hayden Connor, Cam Williams, DJ Campbell, Jake Majors. These guys are too good, and they had their pride tested when the Georgia Bulldogs came in and beat their ass on their home field. That's one of them look in the mirror games where, man, we got to change some stuff because this ain't it. This ain't it. And they've done that and then some. Quintrevia Wisner, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no practice this week. No practice. He just watching. Because you're going to need him against them Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah. You're going to need him against them Georgia Bulldogs. And I can't wait.
I'll tell you, Zay, right quick here, what Rodney Smith is talking about right here. This Wisner game was the ultimate I don't trust blue game by Sark. Maybe. But you know what? This is where I think when you really think about this, I know that they have him carrying the football around and all that stupid shit, whatever. I mean, Jaden Blue is watching his carries go like this, shriveling up like you done. You know what I'm saying? It's like shriveling up. Every time that Jaden Blue gets on the field and they hand him the ball, he knows that those carries are going to be so imperative because they're shrinking. They're shrinking. He's going to hold on to the football. And this other dude's over here running for 194. He's going to figure out a way to hold on to the football. And before the year's over, you're going to need Jaden Blue to make a play or 2 or 3 or 4. And he's going to hold on to the damn football. This is a teaching experience for him, too. He's kind of getting left out. We're over here talking about Wisner, player of the game, no doubt. Jaden Blue's going to get better from this, my man.
Yeah.
He's going to get
better.
But
he's still getting bumped. Like, his catch tonight, huge. Oh. His touchdown was huge, man. He's still – and I appreciate that because he had a good spirit this whole week when they talked to him early in the week and he was carrying that ball around. And I know my guy, Bucky Godbolt, thinks that's the corniest shit that you could possibly do. One of my favorite movies of all time. Y'all know it, The Program. Legendary movie. They had Omar Epps as carrying that ball. They had Jared Gibson doing it. They had Jaden Blue doing it. But he was still upbeat. he was still positive. He still understood that, yeah, man, I can't be fumbling, but I know I'm a good player when I protect the ball. And Steve Sarkisian still believes in him enough to throw him the ball in the red zone where he could still put points on the board. So even though his carries have gotten less and less because Contravian Wisner has become better and better each and every week, you're right, Double R. 23 is going to be needed.
You're going to need
him staying positive and him just not, you could easily quit. You could easily just be done mentally, but he's not. And I appreciate that from Jaden Blue and Contravian Wisner right now. It's his time to shine, and he deserves the love that he's getting. Like, that's one of those, he probably doesn't have to pay for a meal for a very long time in the ATX for the performance that he put up in College Station today, and I couldn't be happier for Contravian Wisner.
Yeah, Longhorn lore. Like when we see all these like kickers that come back, these guys that make these kicks and they're off signing autographs and all this shit after their NFL careers are over. That's gonna be Wisner many, many years down the road. We'll be having TSU events where he's gonna come out. He's gonna be a Covert on a Friday
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Verdes Mexican Parrilla, our sponsor of our offensive MVP each and every Texas Sports Unfiltered postgame show. Texas wins tonight 17-7, located on Hamilton Pool Road off of 71. Verdes Mexican Parrilla, serving up an extensive menu of all your traditional and Tex-Mex favorites, because they're not the same, friends. They're not the same. They've got a beautiful indoor dining area that makes for a great date night. You can take the 5 if you're out with a 5. Go to Verdes. Go to Verdes. Take the 5 to Verdes. And outside, there's a covered patio there. You can sit outside with the 5. It don't matter. Outside, they got you covered. It's a great place to dine in, or you want to have the 5 at your place? Take out. You can do that too from Verdes. They can host your party or any of your catering needs. Be sure and mention Texas Sports Unfiltered next time you're there. They're gonna hook you up with a free appetizer courtesy of TSU. Go see them. It's Verdes Mexican Parrilla. They sponsor our offensive MVP.
Hell yeah, man. Ain't nothing wrong with them 5s, man. A win's a win. A win's a win. Don't let your homeboys tell you, bro, what? Why are you with her? What are you doing? Yo, did you have a great time or not? Did you rock your world or not? That's a 5. I don't care. I do not care. So what if you barely beat Arkansas? That's a good win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what if you barely beat Vanderbilt? That's a good win, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all wins.
Yeah.
Come on.
And Zay, that dude that asks you about being with the 5, he's usually by himself, or he's with 5 too.
Yeah. Yeah, with Palmer there.
Yeah, with Jesse Palmer, for crying out loud.
Oh, man, we're having a good time here on the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. Again, the Texas Longhorns get the dub 17-7 against the Texas A&M Aggies in Kenfield. Oh, it's so sweet. Defensive MVP brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars. This is a tough one, Double R. I feel like we could give it to just a plethora of guys, man. Even if you and I pick someone different, I feel like we're going to be leaving out somebody, which that's the beauty of this defense. You give up 0 points, there's going to be a lot of reasons why, and I'm sure we're going to find it, but also I don't want to leave no one out, so I might have to do a double tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Defensive MVP, who you got?
You know, man, it's hard to not go with big Vernon. Vernon, what a night! I mean, that dude, there it is right there. See, Rodney, that Rodney Smith right there. That's the way we think, man. Vernon Broughton brought it early, and he brought it all night long. 45 was all over the field, but it's like the defensive MVP really does get so hard. I mean, and you can even give it to the secondary guys. I mean, you could factor Makuba into that. He didn't make a lot of plays, but the thing is,
timely.
They can't go. Yeah, they're timely plays because you can't go at them. But I mean, I got to go with Broughton, man. I mean, I kind of thought that's where you might go. Your thoughts on that one? Because there's a lot.
Yeah, deserving. Those were my thoughts. Vernon Broughton was so solid. Just got married, is expecting the child very soon, which is a beautiful thing. And hey, I feel like he's at peace because of that. Again, Kenny Baker, Vernon Broughton talked about Kenny Baker and just how he's completely changed his mindset and thought process when it comes to being an interior defensive lineman. And again, Bo Davis was terrific. Bo Davis, a legendary defensive line coach, very well respected amongst all his peers in college football. And Kenny Baker hasn't had a chance to really display that because, hell, he's not even 40 years old yet. So to hear someone like Vernon Broughton praise Kenny Baker for the things that he's been teaching them and the development process there in his limited time of being on campus is absolutely unbelievable. And you see it with Jermaine Lole, and you see it with Bill Norton, and you see it with Alfred Collins, and obviously you see it with Vernon Broughton. I couldn't be more impressed with this interior defensive line who had so many questions coming into this season with Trevondre Sweat and Byron Murphy going off to the National Football League. It's absolutely incredible. So I get you picking Vernon Broughton. I 100% get that. For me, I got to go with Ethan Burke. That play on the fourth down, that's an iconic play. That's another guy, who's from the city. Like those dudes, John A. Barrett, Mookie Taft, Andrew Makuba, Ethan Burke. Ethan Burke hasn't had the volume of snaps that he got back in 2023. But again, this is a guy, if you hear him every week on Bucky and BK, he's what this culture and team represents. Yeah, I might not be getting every snap, but when I get in the game, I'm going to make plays. I'm not going to bitch. I'm not going to moan. I'm not going to pout. I'm not going to quit like some former five-star receivers done and are no longer with the program. I'm going to believe in this team and this coaching staff because they have my best interests. And I'm going to stay ready. And when my name and number is called, I'm going to go out there and make a play. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. That fourth down stop. You just got done getting your punt blocked. It's 17-7. Now they're driving. They're on the goal line. They're on the 1 yard line. They need to score. They score. You now got a 17-14 game with way too much time left.
Yep.
And Ethan Burke comes through for his guys, man. Comes through for his guys. His defense is absolutely ridiculous. I got to give it to Ethan Burke for my defensive MVP, Kenfield golf carts. And you're right, Double R could have went to Andrew Makuba. It could have went to Trey Moore, who had that big forced fumble at the end. It could have went to Mookie Taft, who got an interception early on and set the tone of the game.
Yeah.
So many different guys are making plays each and every week. And that's what you got to do. Like this team there's no one to focus on. If you're an offensive coordinator, you got to worry about a lot of guys. Like Leona LaFau forced a fumble. They didn't jump on it. It went back to A&M, but he got in there and forced a fumble on Marcel Reed. It's somebody different every play, every week. You have Jelani McDonald making diving interceptions the week before. Like Ty Anthony Smith is making plays now. Like there's so many different guys. Kobe Black is getting a little bit of bump. Gavin Holmes has gotten better, even though he's been a little quiet at times. He's not pouting about his minutes and his reps declining. Like championship level defense. I know it's corny, but the offense wins games, defense wins championships. It couldn't be more true with this Texas team. And
no doubt. No doubt. And Zay, still with Colin Simmons, man. And this is just the start. This is just the start, man. We're just getting the cake. Charlie Strong, we're just getting the cake out right now. We didn't even got the frosting ready. And I mean, and this dude's doing what he's doing tonight. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Anthony Hill. Dude had 5 tackles. And it's like that. There are so many different cogs to this defense. And that's where it's like, man, if you could just get that offense just a little more consistent, don't turn the ball over.
We'll turn it over.
Could be deadly. Could be deadly.
Yeah. Ant Hill, man, he was talking crazy tonight. Zero was talking crazy tonight. It seemed like every play he was a part of, he was in the face of an Aggie, which people forget. This guy was, once upon a time, committed to go to College Station and said, you know what? Y'all are doing some weird shit around here that I'm not really with. Let me go now to the ATX where I can be a little bit more comfortable. And I'm sure after a win like that, he could have made a better decision. I'm glad that he got that dub because it was a personal game for Anthony Hill. So shout out to Verde Broughton. Shout out to Ethan Burke. Both of those guys are me and double R's. Kenfield Golf Cars defensive MVP. Kenfield Golf Cars. If you're in the market to get a new or pre-owned cart, we got you. Our good friends at Kenfield Golf Cars right around the corner. They've been doing this since 1979. That's a long time, and that's because they are good. And look, unparalleled selection of golf carts available, new or used. If you have any golf cart ideas, no job is too big, no job is too small for our team. They will turn your existing golf cart into something bigger, or you could start fresh and build your golf cart from scratch. So no one does it better than Kenfield Golf Cars. Go to their website, kenfieldgolfcars.com for more info, or give them a call at 512-258-8515. That's 512-258-8515. Kenfield Golf Cars.
Yeah, man.
See, like I get it. Hair of the dog, I get it. Like we're very, can't be perfect, but just enjoy the win. I get it. This should have been 30-0. It should have been a 30-point victory. You get in the red zone. You got to put the ball in the end zone. Quinn Ewers can't throw that interception. Quinn Ewers can't fumble there. You can't have that blocked punt. But with all of that negativity, you still got the dub in the biggest game of the year by double digits. You'll take that any day of the week. So I get it. We're bitching from a yacht a little bit, but hey, there's a standard here. Steve Sarkisian is going to go back to the drawing board and look at Quinn and be like, yo, man, that's still unacceptable. We got the dub. Let's celebrate it for a night, but you can't make those mistakes in the SEC championship. You damn sure can't make those mistakes in the college football playoff. Hopefully those things get cleaned up so we can really see this Texas team thrive. All right, Double R, time for our tip of the cap, which goes to the opposing player that impressed us the most, brought to you by Top Gun Rentals and Law Equipment. Who you got for us?
I was going to go with the quarterback for a little bit, but then like you said, looked like he wanted to get off the field. So I took him off my list. I'm like,
it seemed like he didn't want to be out there. I'm not going to lie. I know that's wrong to say about the player. Like the fact that he stayed in, I need to give him a little bit more credit, Marcel Reed, because he was a little banged up. But it was one of those, bro, the way Texas is playing, you sure you want this smoke? Mm-hmm. You don't look like you're ready for this moment, bro. Maybe it's the freshman in you, but you don't look like you're ready for this moment. And Barron Sorrell could have had that interception. Mookie Taft could have had another interception. He fumbled one time. The boys from Texas weren't playing.
That's right. I thought about Jade Walker that had the block on the punt, but I'm like, I went back and watched that play. Nobody blocked him. So, no, I'm not going to pick him. Not going to pick him. Hell, I could have done that. Well, no, I couldn't have done that, but a lot of people could have done that. I got to tell you, man, my tip of the cap for the Aggies, I was really glad to see Reuben Owens back on the field. I'd forgotten about that dude. And when he came rolling out, they said Reuben Owens. I'm like, I didn't even know I forgot that dude got hurt, and pretty bad injury on top of that. I mean, he hadn't played football for a year and a half or however long it had been. I mean, see Reuben Owens out there toting the rock against this defense. I think he carried it 3 times, maybe got 10 yards or whatever the case was. But I mean, the fact that he was able to get back out on the field because and in this rivalry, I mean, the fact that he hadn't been used much at all this year, he got out on the field, got into the stat sheet. Got to give it to old Reuben Owens, man. That's gritty. That's a gritty performance right there to get out there and get beat around by this defensive front. So I got to go tip of the cap there to my man Reuben Owens.
Yeah, it seemed like he'd be out for the whole season.
Yeah.
So shout out to his doctors and that medical team down there in College Station or wherever he got, surgery and his rehab process. Clearly, he was going hard in rehab to be back on that field for this game, even though he didn't have that many carries. Says a lot about him. And yeah, they were hurt at that running back spot, you know what I'm saying? Not having, Moss out there, Le'Veon Moss, but yeah, for me, my tip of the cap has to go to my man who got the pick 6, Willie. That dude. I know they call him the blanket and stuff, whatever. That's cute. But tip pass by Quinn Ewers. He took it to the house. I thought that really changed the game. That really got things a little more interesting. They got the crowd back into it. And again, this defense for Texas just reigned supreme. Didn't allow much of anything to that offense to capitalize on all the mistakes that Texas made. But not too many positive things for that Aggie team. And Will Lee with the pick 6. Got to give it to somebody for the tip of the cap, double R. So, yeah, Will Lee gets a touchdown, the only touchdown of the game. Tip of the cap to that dude.
Absolutely. Tip of the cap to those guys. And presented by our friends over at Top Gun Rentals and Lawn Equipment. Weather's changing right now. That's when you need to be out there working on the lawn because you know how that goes. Your shit's about to die. Your stuff is about to die. So our friends over at Top Gun, they can help you tackle any job that you may have. They offer an extensive selection of everything from small home projects like I'm talking about to large construction jobs. They've got the best brands like Steel, Hustler, Toro, Walker, DeWalt, and more. Our man, Brandon Mars, and his team will hook you up with whatever you need to get the job done. They are and have been Austin's #1 source for all of your lawn equipment rentals, sales, and supplies. They've been doing it since 1996. If you notice, when we talk about people here and we talk about our sponsors here on Texas Sports Unfiltered, we're talking about 1996. We're talking about back like our man Tom McKay all the way back in 1988. I was still in high school back then, Zay. Damn, been doing that a long time. 2 Austin area locations to serve you guys. Anderson Square up my way, and then the other down south, topgun.net. They will shoot you straight, and they present our tip of the cap to the opposing players that we want to tip the cap to. Very short list tonight for the Fighting Texas A&M Aggies. Look at that right there.
Yeah, look at Colin Simmons wilding, man. Colin Simmons a fool for this one. If anyone's listening on the app, I am showing double R and the people. Colin Simmons posted a photo with the with the Lone Star trophy while throwing up the double bird. And in the comments, it says, I think it's Big 55 who he is tagging in this comment, the one that he got into the little, debacle with towards the end of the game where he got penalized. But it says, watch yourself. Shit wicked out here. I don't know what that word's. Hey, 55. I don't know what he's talking about. These young brothers out here, I don't really understand them, but I'm with this. I appreciate this, Colin Simmons. We got dogs on this team, man. Ain't nothing sweet about this. Give him the double bird. This is A&M. This is personal. Give him the double bird. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably have to have a little talk with him because he's wilding on the internet. But yeah, this picture is going to go viral for years and years to come. This is what this rivalry is all about. It ain't hurting nobody. It's just pure hatred. We're not going towards A&M's level. No. We're just going to keep it within the game. And Colin Simmons is doing this thing here by throwing that double bird. I appreciate that, Double R. We got some dogs on this team, and when you got dogs and you let them roam, you're going to see stuff like that. I have no problem with it at all.
And you know what? The whole thing is Texas can do that now because they can back that shit up. And that's the whole thing where I think this whole narrative, with Texas going to the SEC's AOL, still that whole soft thing. This team is soft. This program is soft. Soft my ass. Ain't nothing soft about this team. I know the offense may kind of lose its way every now and then, whether it's the quarterback or whatever the problem is right there. Ain't nothing soft about this team, brother. This team, dogs. You said it. There's a bunch of dogs right here on this team.
Bunch of dogs, man. We ain't no puppies around here. We ain't no poodles. We ain't no Reveillees. Reveille ain't no dog, man. Lassie. What the kind of dog is that? Y'all need to man up and get a tougher animal. That's one of the softest animals in the world, man. It can't even bark. Man, come on, man. What are we doing out here?
What's the rule over there? Like if that dog reveal, as I like to call it, I called it reveal one time, and they're like, it's Reveille. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what the name of the damn thing is. But it's like, so if that dog goes and lays on your bed, don't you have to give that dog your bed? Isn't that the way that works over there? The dog,
I have no idea. I know if the dog barks.
I love dogs, but come on now.
Yeah, it's a soft animal. Like Lassie, come on. It's a soft animal. We don't got that around here. I saw them trying to barbecue that Longhorn, which somebody need to call PETA because some ain't right about that. I get it. It's the rivalry, but y'all putting that Longhorn on the luau and having that thing rotate like a rotisserie chicken. All right. Man. All right. Yeah, we had something for that ass today, didn't we? Had something for that ass today.
That's what
All
I'm
right.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. Time for the offensive play of the game, brought to you by Hat Creek. Again, Ronnie, plenty to choose from. Should have been more, but you had enough, especially in that first half. Should have went up 20-0 at halftime, but Bert Auburn smoked another kick, which we're a little worried about that. But let's just stick to the positive right here. Offensive play of the game, brought to you by Hat Creek. What you got for us, Double R?
I gotta say, and I hate to draw to even more attention to it. Arch Manning gets in the game and just makes shit happen again. Here he comes and makes that play, and then the manner that he makes it. Did you see him after that touchdown? That
he was he was pumped.
That dude looked like he could kill somebody. That look on his face, and that play right there, just the energy that brought right there. I mean, you bring that dude into the game. And oh, by the way, who was over there saying that was a touchdown? Quinn Ewers. That dude was on the field like that was a touchdown. But to bring that dude in and have him make that play again, just so much energy that dude brings. Look at that right there. I mean, and these dudes, they need to live this shit up. They need to live this shit up. Like we were talking about at the beginning of the broadcast, the Aggies were talking a lot of shit. A lot of shit. All I'm seeing is dudes in white holding a trophy. And to me, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But Arch Manning comes in and makes another huge play. Got to give it to Arch. Got to give it to Arch, man. I know that. And again, there were a lot of really good offensive plays, but I'm going with 16 on this one.
Yeah. I thought that he'd be getting more playing time in this game due to what we heard about Quinn Ewers' ankle all week. And again, in this type of game, that defense for Texas A&M, they're not scrubs. They've made life tough for a lot of these opposing teams in the Southeastern Conference. You think about Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, they made him look like rump roast. Yeah, Steve Sarkisian and John A. Barrett in the picture that I'm showing you, both of those guys couldn't be more hype for the dub at Kyle Field. But yeah, for me, that offensive play of the game, I'm going to go with that pass to Jaden Blue. Again, Jaden Blue, dude had a tough week. That fumble against Kentucky, he just didn't know how he's going to be used this game. Give Travion Wisner 33 carries, but Jaden Blue still ready for what his numbers called to make a big play. And that was a huge play coming out of the backfield on that wheel route. He had that little stutter step to get the defense off just a little bit. And Quinn threw it on the money, got that 1 foot in to make it 14-0. And that really set the tone, or kept the tone where it was for the rest of the game. So I appreciate that for 23. He has to stay locked in, because you're right, Double R. You said it earlier. They're going to need that dude. And for him to come through at that moment, who knows if he'll get another opportunity to make a play. But I have confidence in him. Like, he's a talented player, and clearly this team has confidence in him to keep him in the loop and keep him in the playbook. Big time play by Jaden Blue to extend the lead and extend the game. Shout out to Jaden Blue there for the offensive play of the game. Brought to you by Hat Creek Burger. Hat Creek Burger, man. Shout out to my man, Drew Gresson. I know he was watching the game. Former Texas basketball alum, and Hat Creek started in 2008 behind Star Bar on West 6 as a food truck. And they've only grown since then. 26 locations in Texas, ATX, Dallas, Houston, Waco, Temple, and San Antonio. Did you realize that there's no Hat Creeks in College Station? Just put that out there. Shout out to my man, Drew Grissom there. Despite their rapid growth, Hat Creek remains the same. It is absolutely terrific. Great food, great folks, and great fun. It's that simple. Go get their famous Hat Creek burger. They got salads, they got nuggets, they got fries, shakes at any Hat Creek location. Hat Creek Burger Company. Yeah, Double R, now if you look ahead against Georgia, it's really just about got to get healthy. Guys like Contravian Wisner. I want Kelvin Banks to play, but this isn't one of those necessity things. Like, you got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back too early, because Trevor Gooseby, I think you could play with him. As good as those guys are for Georgia, again, if Hayes King can light your ass up, I'm pretty sure Quinn Ewers of this offense can do it too. Yeah. Like that's just keeping it real. Like, Hayes King went for 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for over 100 yards, 24 carries. Now, Quinn Ewers ain't going to bring that to the table, but you saw Arch Manning get in the game, which means you could have a running quarterback at times, which also Arch Manning could throw it a little bit. So you can expand on that playbook going into this game and really give Kirby Smart some problems. Like Jalen Walker, that dude took over the game in the last meeting. Him and Michael Williams, both of those guys took over the game. They can't do that in this one.
Yeah.
I think this offense is going to be way more prepared. I think Quinn Ewers, even though he's dealing with that ankle, he's way healthier than he was in that game. Like, remember, you had OU the week prior. Quinn Ewers got back from that oblique injury. Then you had Georgia. I don't think he was 100%. That was the wrong team to not be 100% for. So keep that in mind. Georgia fans are probably like, oh, we beat them at Texas. We can beat them again. That's not the same Texas team, Georgia fans. Mm-hmm. That's not the same Texas team. And I know that's not the same Georgia team, but I think they've gotten a little worse since then, those Georgia Bulldogs. And if you can force Carson Beck into turning the ball over like you did that night at DKR, I really like the Longhorns' chances going into this SEC championship game in the ATL.
Zay, I'm with you, and kind of the narrative going into this SEC championship game is going to be, I mean, think back when Georgia came to Austin. You had 2 quarterbacks that were essentially still at that point at the top of the Heisman Trophy balloting list, or whatever you want to call it, and both of them from that game forward have steadily taken themselves way off of that list to where you don't even see them on there right now. Their draft stock has plummeted. So I think that's an interesting way to look at this, is where this game is going to be so much different here in the second, and they may play again there may be a rubber match. That's the craziest thing of all this. So that's one thing that's going to be interesting to watch with the two quarterbacks, because the question is going to be on both of them. It's like they've quote unquote regressed according to some people. But the other thing, what I don't like about this game is, man, the injury thing worries me. It's like, because it's going to be a physical football game. I know you need to win this to get the bye. I mean, I get all of that, but that's where I'm like, man, you still have the big ultimate goal. But damn, talking about Kelvin Banks and Quinn still being a little limped up right there. It's like, God, do we really have to play? Not that I don't want to play him. It's like, do we really have to play this game? Because it's like, oh man, one injury in a SEC championship game for either team can like derail a national championship.
Yeah, that's why I like winning the game and getting that bye is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you lose, you don't get that week off. Now you get a home game at DKR, college football playoff. I like those chances, but yeah, getting that extra week off because you get a bye for winning the SEC championship will definitely be beneficial for this Longhorn team that is really deep. Like, it's really deep. Even if you do get an injury, guys are stepping up. Like Trevor Gooseby couldn't be a bigger example. Like Kelvin Banks goes out. You tell me that, I'm nervous as hell. Before this game, hey, Kelvin Banks is going to get hurt first quarter. Oh, shit. We might have a serious problem, especially against guys like Nick Scorton and, the Shamir brothers. That could be a problem. And it wasn't at all. You racked up over 240 yards on the ground with Trevor Gooseby in the game, along with Hayden Connor, Jake Majors, DJ Campbell, and Cam Williams.
Yeah.
You got to be proud of that if you're Kyle Flood, offensive line coach, and Steve Sarkisian. So, yeah, the Longhorns get the dub 17-7. He is Rodney Rodriguez. I am Zay Collier, holding you down for the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. The defensive play of the game brought to you by Moonshine, Patio, Bar, and Grill. Again, Rodney, a lot of different plays that we could use. What you got for us?
Zay, you called it a while ago, man. The Ethan Burke 4th and 1. I mean, because that right there changes everything. Because at that point, earlier in the show, when I was talking about that the crowd was totally back into that, and it really looked like they were going to figure out that the Aggies were going to figure out a way to punch this thing in. And and not only that, you had a 3rd and 1 play too. I mean, that's the thing that kind of gets overlooked right there. That whole defensive stand. I mean, but the way that Ethan Burke played that and just shut that down. I mean, it was for a loss. I mean, it wasn't a stop. It was for a loss right there. And this just goes back to what you were saying. I mean, next man up, you don't know who's gonna make a play. It's like, damn, 91. But that play was massive. Ethan Burke doesn't make that play. I'm not going to say Texas loses this game, but I guarantee you one thing: we were going to be sweating. I was already starting to get a little moist when that was going on. When that was going on, but just a massive stop. That's a put your foot down stop right there. By far, my defensive play of the game.
Yeah, by far mine too. I don't know what else would it be. I mean, Mookie Taft, hell of an interception. Andrew Makuba, again, his nose dirty on 2 big 3rd downs. 1 almost was a targeting, which it wasn't. Good decision by the refs. And he had another one where the tight end went across the middle and he stuck his head in there and poked the ball out for an incompletion. You could go with Big Ocho, Trey Moore having the strip sack on Marcel Reed that Verde Broughton jumped on, but with the game where it was at 17-7, you just had a punt blocked. They get the ball in the 20. You get a huge 3rd down stop on the 1 yard line. Bill Norton's a big part of that. And it's 4th and 1 for the game to become a 3-point game. And here comes the Westlake Chaparral that was originally a Michigan commit, that was originally a lacrosse player, and just said, you know what? Football's fun. And I go to it hurts for me to say this as a Bowie Bulldog, but I go to probably the best high school football school in the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I get elite development by Coach Vosick, Colton Vossick's pops, who's a defensive line coach. And Ethan Burke at 6'6" makes the biggest play of his career. And again, I just, you're right, Roddy. Who knows what happens if he doesn't make that play? Who knows what happens if A&M puts it in the end zone with all that time on the clock and the way that offense looked? You know what I'm saying? That could have completely swung the momentum. And Ethan Burke sniffs out that play and makes a huge stop on the running back. And no points allowed by this defense. Can't say that enough of how impressive that is. 0 points allowed from this defense. Yeah. Defensive play of the game brought to you by Moonshine, Patio, and Grill. Both of us said Ethan Burke. Couldn't see it any other way. Ethan Burke, hell of a performance, hell of a stop. Can't wait to hear how he went through that whole big-time stop and how he went through that game. Hear him this week on Bucky and BK. But Moonshine, Patio, Bar, and Grill. Moonshine, which is a place that takes you back to a simpler time, a comfortable time, a familiar time, relaxed, easy going. Moonshine greets guests like their family. They serve up a great cooking experience with an innovative take on American classics and comfort food. Moonshine menu satisfies anyone. Anyone, go in there, whether it's for their weekend brunch or whether it's dinner time, downtown, Avery Ranch, it doesn't matter. It's absolutely fantastic food. That's why they've been doing it in the ATX for over 20 years. They want to support and thank everyone that has been to Moonshine and has enjoyed themselves to their lovely fine dining. So go to moonshinegrill.com for more information to make a reservation. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill. Shout out to the defensive play of the game, which goes out to the great Ethan Burke.
That's right. That is our man right there, Ethan Burke. Unanimous decision on that one. And thank you all for hanging with us. We're now into Sunday morning. That's what happens when you have a dominating win over the Texas A&M Aggies, as you get a little extended post-game coverage here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. And that brings us to our final words, eh?
Yeah, there's a reason why we almost went 2 hours. I think it's necessary for this type of event,
Absolutely.
This type of game. And Double R, final word brought to you by Paul's Motorworks.
Hey, man, you fire it off. You fired off. You kicked this one off. Kind of your final word here, because into the regular season, still games to be played, but just kind of sum this all up in the mind of the great Zay Collier.
Appreciate that, man. Again, this team, the toughness, the culture, the togetherness, the love that they have for one another. Like Steve Sarkisian talked about it. He's never seen the team that's been closer and that's as tight as this group. Like everybody wants the man next to him to succeed and thrive. You see it in pregame when you got guys like Mookie Taft and Andrew Makuba wearing John A. Barron for the Thorpe Award t-shirts. Yep. And you got guys like John A. Barron saying after the game tonight that Michael Taft is the greatest ever. Just stuff like that. And just how, again, together that they are. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. It is. And this defense could go down in the history books. Yeah, they're just nasty, filthy, grimy, hard-nosed, hard-hat dudes.
Yep.
At every position. Whether there's subs, David Binda had a huge play tonight. David Binda in the wake got his spot taken by Leoga Lafau. Doesn't care. Could care less. Could care less because it's all about the team. Alfred Collins is going to make buku money this year due to his play. Verde Broughton's going to make money. Trey Moore might have a chance to go to the league after the performances that he's had as of late. Andrew Makuba, all these guys. This team's going to put in so many NFL players on this defensive side. And now you have multiple identities as an offense because, you could play flashy and get the ball in the air and make passes up and down the field. Matthew Golden made good plays tonight. Gunnar Hell made good plays tonight. But when you need it, you can grind out games and run the ball and give you just old school hard-nosed football with guys like Travion Wisner that gave you a buck freaking 80-something on the ground. And Quinn Ewers showed toughness tonight. Yeah, he made some bad plays. Interception, fumble, bad plays. But overall, he was solid, man. He was solid. Solid enough to beat your nemesis at Kenfield. The tickets were over 1,000 tonight. All those guys wanted to see A&M thrive and ruin Texas' chances of getting to the SEC championship. And they didn't let that happen. This coaching staff deserves love. Steve Sarkisian deserves love. And I hope they relish that win tonight. But again, tomorrow, well, it already is tomorrow, but hey, that's in the rearview mirror. Time for Georgia. Time to get that payback because you owe them one. Kirby Smart was talking like a madman after that game. We're not here for all the bells and whistles. We're not here for all the pictures and gimmicks. Time to shut his ass up. Again, if I'm Sark, I'm making shirts about that. I'm playing that throughout the locker room. I'm playing it on the field, Kirby Smart's comments. He disrespected you. He challenged your manhood. He challenged your culture. You owe him one. You owe him one. That game completely changed your season on how you need to operate from here on out. Sark got completely outcoached in that Georgia game. Sark brought his A game tonight and outcoached Mike Elko. Pete Kwiatkowski brought his A game tonight and outcoached Colin Klein. That's the shit that you got to do. When you're getting paid that much, you got to do that. You have to. That's what it's about. And you've got the guys to do it. You got guys that hold each other accountable. When Sark said, I got 20-something leaders on this team at SEC Media Day in July in Dallas, Texas. I said, man, this is just some serious coach talk, ain't it? No, that's facts. He's really got that. He's really got that. The young guys get it, and the veterans get it. C.J. Baxter talked about it in his Player Tribune article. Jordan Whittington let him know early, yo, bruh, if you ain't about the team, there's the door. If you think that you're bigger than this shit, there's the door. There's some guys that had that mindset. They ain't no longer on this team anymore. Everybody in that locker room is about one thing, winning. Winning. Yep. That's all it's about. Fuck the schedule. The schedule is what it is. You're not losing to Kentucky. You're not losing to Vanderbilt. You're not losing to Arkansas. You're handling your business. You're not losing to A&M. You're handling your business. That's what you got to do. This team has a lot of pride, man. A lot of pride. We saw that today. It wasn't pretty, but again, we've been talking about the fives, Rodney. A 5 and a win in this conference to go to the SEC championship. Every other team in this conference would take that. And you have the chance in year one to go hoist that trophy in the state of Georgia against that team that's had so much success in the last few years. Very proud of this team. They deserve all the love and praise that they're going to get this week, but don't let it get to your head, which I'm sure they won't. They won't. It's going to be about business. And yes, Quinn Ewers, he did struggle at times today, but he made enough throws. That's all he has to do from here on out. Just make enough throws. Just make enough plays. This defense is good enough to win you a championship. If they do that, they will be fine. Very proud of this team. Hell of a victory. Anytime you beat the Aggies, You should feel good about yourself. No matter how you did it, that's what it is. Here we are. Can't wait for this week to prepare for this game, Rodney.
That's right. My final word coming up here in just a second. Paul's Motorworks presenting our final word each and every Texas Sports Unfiltered postgame show. Been providing foreign and domestic automotive repair since 2000. Again, since 2000. Well established, specializing in BMW, Mini Coopers, Mercedes-Benz, Audis, Volkswagens, and Porsche. They will take care of all of that for you. Even the simple stuff. Our man BK, that's where he goes to get his oil change. Routine oil changes. They'll handle that for you as well. Don't trust your car to just anyone, because that's an investment. Your car is an investment. You don't just want to hand that thing over to somebody that's going to do a half-assed job. Take it to the fine people at Paul's Motorworks. Your search for a good mechanic is over. Just go see Paul. It is Paul's Motorworks, sponsor of the final word here on the postgame show. I'm right there with you, Zay, on all of that. And I go back to culture, because the culture around here has just flipped to where in the past it was always the inconsistencies and the stupid things that were going to happen, the distractions. A lot of times this seemed like the Dallas Cowboys, to where it was like the stupid off the field shit is going to lose you games. And that has disappeared. And I truly can say that it has disappeared, because we saw the one instance this year to where there was an unhappy player, and that was handled exceptionally well. And that was all taken care of. Where in the past, that thing would have escalated. This locker room would have been divided if just from one incident. That's not the case anymore. That is absolutely not the case. And this team is so unselfish, because you've got so many guys. There are so many players on this team that can make play. So many guys on this team that could go anywhere else, and play every down, but they want to be here. They want to be a part of something special. They want to be a part of this system, because they know what's being built right here, and being built really, really fast. And to watch those guys like we're talking about, it's like you never know who's coming at you. You never know who's going to make a play. And it can be the untimely guys and the unselfishness, like you talked about Benda right there, where that's a dude where it's like, I don't know, when they call my number, I'm going to go in and make a play. And those are the football players you want. You talk to any football coach, you talk to any coach, I don't give a shit what sport it's in. That's the guys that you want, where it's team. Remember that old shirt where it's team and then me in little bitty letters. There's a lot of that going on around here. And it's been so cool to watch this whole, the way the season started. Texas, they can't play in the SEC. Texas isn't ready for the SEC. It's a gauntlet. It's so physical. Yeah, the schedule, whatever. The schedule's so soft. 8 bowl-eligible teams have now fallen to the Texas Longhorns, including A&M tonight. That's pretty freaking impressive to me. That schedule doesn't look quite as bad to me. And oh, by the way, Michigan just went and whipped Ohio State's ass today, too. That win seems a hell of a lot more impressive to me than it used to be. And here's the other part of it. As this has gone on, back to how the culture has changed around here and how the program has developed, what has Texas done? Just take care of business. Some wins have been ugly. Don't matter. Some wins are going to be ugly. Look at championship pedigree. Look at paths of championship teams. They win a lot of ugly fucking games, eh? And that's why if you're looking for bells and whistles and parades and all that, it's going to be some rough, muddy, ugly-ass days. And this program has driven right through them, and they're getting ready to play next week in the SEC championship in their first season in the SEC when they weren't ready for the SEC. Oh, my. Times have changed, haven't they? Hook 'em, bitches. Your team is going to the SEC championship game in Bad Street, Atlanta, GA.
Yeah. That's right. And keep playing Mo Bamba, too, A&M. They're playing Mo Bamba a ton tonight. Do y'all understand who Mo went to Texas, right? I feel like they don't get that. I feel like they were trolling at this point. And they were cheating, too, by playing the music right when Quinn and them were about to snap the ball. Sark had to let them know. Aggies, man. You Aggies. Y'all tried it. Y'all real desperate tonight. You know what I'm saying? Real desperate. By the way, Jose, tell your uncle, man, there'll be better days. Maybe not soon, but there'll be better days. Keep your head up, Unc. Yeah. Keep your head up, baby. Yeah. You know, that's what Tupac said. Keep your head up.
Yeah. Remind him they're going to a nice bowl game.
Nice bowl game. That Music City Bowl in Nashville, I heard it's fun. It's Broadway. You know what I'm saying? Them bowl games, Cotton Bowl maybe. Dallas, Texas, El Paso Bowl. Them bowls are fun. Have a good time, Aggies. Have a good time, because anywhere is better than College Station. So you might as well get on the road and go support your team. You know what I'm saying? So the Independence Bowl, all that stuff.
The Frisco Bowl.
Toilet Bowl. Like, have a good time. That whack-ass bowl that they play at Yankee Stadium, all of them.
Oh, yeah, the Pinstripe Bowl.
Pinstripe Bowl, yeah. Pinstripe Bowl. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Have a good time. That's what y'all should do. Embrace it. Life is too short. Embrace everything. Have a good time. But, yeah, that is the final word, brought to you by Paul's Motorworks. Again, we appreciate everybody for rocking with us here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. Like and subscribe. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us throughout the week, from Bucky and BK to Double R and Adam Wagner to Scruggs and Jeff Howe, Keenan Womack and Eric Henry, Chip Brown, and myself, Zay Collier, the SEC Unfiltered guys, Dave Shoemate, Chris Phillips, Cole Thompson. Where are you going to get the content? Who's having as much fun as us? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brad Kellner for allowing us to have a good time and to give y'all what y'all want and what y'all need. You know what I'm saying? It's a blast. This couldn't be a funner night. I love what I do. I'm sure Double R feels the exact same way. This is what it's all about. This is what makes the job fun.
And Zay, you know what? I heard earlier, or I saw earlier, where somebody said that we were like, lighting up A&M and all that. I promise you one thing. Let's say that this game would have gone the other way. Let's say the game would have gone the other way. We'd be lighting up Texas. We tell you what we're thinking. I mean, if they lose, if Texas loses, we're going to be up their ass too. That's just the way that we roll right here, man.
Yeah. We got to keep it a buck. Got to keep it 100 for the people. That's what it's all about. That's what y'all deserve. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, hell of a victory for the Texas Longhorns, 17-7 against the Texas A&M Aggies. Doesn't get much better. Tune in for Bucky and BK, started at 8 a.m. and the rest of the shows after that, getting you ready for Georgia. He is Double R, Rodney Rodriguez. I am Zay Collier. This is the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. Appreciate everybody. Enjoy the rest of the night and the rest of the week. Again, Horns beat the Aggies. Haven't seen this game, 13 years? Too long, but
worth the wait.
Worth the wait, baby. Appreciate everybody. Y'all be cool.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.